Still a year away, but the local Republican Party is already putting their power and money behind one candidate for county supervisor. The party recently donated $200,000 into Joel Anderson's challenge of six-term Supervisor Dianne Jacob. Now, Anderson represents the 36th Senate District, but Jacob, who is also a Republican, recently told the Union Tribune she has no plans to retire. The contribution was officially made earlier this month. And here to give us his take on that is Party Chairman Tony Krvaric.
Tony, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
And you know, it might be rather interesting to a lot of people to back Anderson, because you have the County Board of Supervisors who, you know, most of them will say they've worked together for a long time, obviously, and they've worked well together. And Dianne Jacob certainly has a lot of support in her district with, you know, 6 terms. So why is it so important for the San Diego Republican Party to back Anderson?
Well, I've been party chairman for 8 years now, and there are 900 elected officials in the county. More than half of those are Republicans, and the #1 elected official that we get complaints about each and every year that I've been party chairman has been Supervisor Dianne Jacob. Over the years, she has been described by people who call our office and are complaining about her as lazy, not doing any constituent service, being poor constituent service, and depriving people in East County of their property rights. So those are 2 big issues that keep coming up again and again and again. And so we're backing Joel Anderson, and I think this would be a good time for Dianne Jacob to retire.
Tony, let me ask you this. Dianne Jacob was one of the supervisors who approved or voted for limiting political contributions to county candidates. That didn't sit well with the local Republican Party. How much did that play into your decision and the party's decision backing Anderson?
Well, it's always unfortunate when Republican elected officials vote to curb the free speech rights of political parties or any association, and that's what they did. Now, this wasn't it was basically maybe the straw that broke the camel's back as far as Dianne Jacob and the county supervisors. But you know, when we get calls from people who have bought property in East County and bought a large enough piece of land so that they could build themselves another house or where their kids could live, or they could sell one house and retire in the other, and Dianne Jacob works against those interests, that is not the Republican principled way to govern. And like I said, that's the #1 complaint we get about Dianne Jacob. That and constituent service, which Supervisor Anderson has been handling her constituent service because they can't get service from Dianne Jacob. So there's a sense of entitlement and arrogance that has creeped in, and as you know, most of these board of supervisors have served for over 20 years. She will have served for 24 years, and now is looking to add a record-setting 7th term to serve for 28 years. I think it's time for change, and there hasn't been any challenger in East County, and it's good that we have one.
Before we let you go real quick, where did the $200,000 come from? Was that one donor, several donors, or?
We're a grassroots party. Our average contribution is about $100 or so. So this is money that we've collected from grassroots Republicans who expect us to help get principled Republicans into office. And Joel Anderson is just the first of many. That's we're talking about the 2016 election. This is the first endorsement that we've made. We're going to make several others and back them just as forcefully.
Not mincing any words. All right, Tony, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks a lot.